All right, welcome back to another episode of the Empty Out the Clip podcast, the EOTC. My name is Cams, and I'm here in Hana, West Auckland, with the brothers in the house, Leti and Eddie. What's up, my usos?
What's up, boys? What's up, boys?
Yeah, man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back on the early morning on the... Oh, it's lunchtime now. Close to lunchtime on a Sunday morning. It's a nice day outside. It's good to get the episode out the way and enjoy the rest of the day. But good to see you guys on board again. The Empty Out the Clip podcast. We got a little request from... Do a little bit of Comments Corner of our regular listener, Valima49 Aston 99. He just asked a little favor of us to when we introduce ourselves on the podcast to let everyone know where we're from and our islands. Man. So I'm from Wawala and Malia in Samoa.
My dad's from Levi, Samoa, and my mom's from Aimele, Arepaka, but she grew up in town.
I'm from a few places. Both my parents have ties to Tokelau, Atahu and Hakaho. My Toke side also is in Whasitoa, Utah, and Nana's village is Nofoalii. But I am proud Westie, raised and bred out west, Ranui, and now reside in Ted South.
Sweet boys. Nice. Let's do some shout outs, man. Let's go, Eddie.
Just the usual shout outs to my listening brothers, Westside Fitness, PJ Louis, Alex Jordan, my brothers Leo Don Waki. Shout out to Vailima49, man. It was pretty cool that he wanted to know where we're from and whatnot. And special shout out to all the support that we get on our social media. So yeah, that's my shout outs.
Shoutouts. Special shout out to all those who participated in the Tokelau Language Week festivities. Shout out to the cuz Fuyo Pati for the ongoing posting with his word of the day, the kupu of Deho. Another shout out to my cousin Joanne down in Poiroa for keeping the Matawala and Atahu roots strong down in Wellington. Another was to my cousin Ters. I don't know if she's been listening in, but still want to know what's the hash for this weekend coming. Another shout out to my niece Oksana over in Sydney. Should be arriving here on Thursday night, so looking forward to catching up with her. Last one's to the guys at VTNZ who gave my Warren a good, nice thumbs up and a pass, and then advised me to go get a new car battery for my truck. So shout out to the guy with the curly blonde hair over at VTNZ Henderson. That's the rest of my shout outs. Shout
out to Eric who jumped on the Channel 135 podcast we do every week. We did another episode on the Penguin TV series that's on HBO Max, which is now part of Sky TV now. So Sky Soho is no more, and so they made a deal with HBO Max to to change the branding from Sky Soho to HBO Max, because the scary part of it was that HBO Max, because they started their own streaming service in the States, and because they got a contract with Sky TV to show all the HBO stuff, Sky TV was scared that HBO Max would take that away from them and start their own streaming service. So that didn't happen. So it's good for us consumers because we don't have to pay for extra streaming service. Now we can just keep it within Sky, even though Sky sucks. But man, so HBO Max, the Penguin TV series me and Eric talk about every week. 2 more episodes to go, so looking forward to that finale. So penultimate episode next week, and finale the following week. Shout out to Eric for his hard work jumping on the podcast and doing that. Also shout out to the boys on the WesWes Sports Cast chat, Lando, Ash, and Adam, who might jump on tonight. I think I'll try to rev those boys up to start our American sports podcast again, the WesWes Sportscast. We'll talk about NFL and NBA. NFL and NBA are ramping up now, so yeah, man, a lot to discuss. NBA just started; it's a week and a half now, so a few things to talk about. So hopefully the boys can jump on tonight. We've booked a session tonight to start that off again, so looking forward to that. Also, shout out to everyone that's listened to the WesWes Network content and read our articles on our website, go check us out on www.weswesnet.com. You can find all our articles there, and also links to all of our podcasts on the website, and also a link to our sports magazine, the WesWes Sports blog magazine. You can read our latest articles on there as well. And yeah, man, check us out on all our socials, the WesWes Network on socials. We're on everything, X, Facebook, Instagram, and our WesWes Network YouTube channel. And you can find all our videos there. Also, the Empty Out the Clip Facebook page, jump on there. It's a group page. It's private, so you gotta answer the questions, and we'll let you in. There's a chance for you to see what we get on in the background there, throwing up articles and write some comments, and we can talk about it on the podcast. Yeah, man. All right, boys, that's us. How's your week been, man? How's your week? I'll start with you, Edie.
Our week's been not too bad. This is the first week I've done 4 hours, so starting at 6, finishing at 5:30, and then going to the gym at 5:45 to 6:30. So pretty long days at the moment. The knee's holding up well, which is good. The little physio exercises have really helped me adjust back into work, because it's quite a physical job. Just been I don't know, it's been a hard few weeks for me, like mentally, just some stuff going on, family and whatnot. But man, shout out to my boys. We all met up on Monday night and had dinner in Takanini, so that was really good. And then some of the boys from the gym, Louis and PJ, we had like a little talking session after the gym. We stayed there for a couple of hours, just talking about anything and everything. And we had a little prayer after that. And shout out to Ave, he reached out. So yeah, it's just been chatting, yeah. But apart from that, the week's been just trying to get back to normality and trying to recuperate my savings before Christmas. I don't know.
Good on you, so I just wanted to make a special mention to the bro Ghoster, man. Haven't seen him for a while, but looking forward to catching up with him. And another shout out to my bro Elliot, who've been able to Gold Coast to compete in some Waka Amas, man. So I forgot about that. But man, my week's been gaya, eh? Like flip, man. I don't really know starting Sunday, but would have been Thursday. Thursday, man, I was unloading the trailer in the morning after I'd done the school run, and I must have just went to sleep. It's a bit new cellar, like I'd been sweating. I woke up a bit dizzy. Went to work though. Because we didn't really have cover to cover our shift and that. But I ended up having a break, because you have a later break. You start at 10, and then they tell you to start at 12. So that would be the time I'd go out for break. But starting at 12 is different. So I don't usually eat on my first break. But I went out for my break, so then I was lightheaded, man. And then something come over me, like I had it's like someone had tints, put glasses over my eyes, and then I just sort of like felt nauseous, and then tried to sleep it off in the car for a bit, but nah, man, wasn't working. I ended up having to get my daughter to come pick up the car. Like work wouldn't let me drive home. But I woke up on Friday, just the same, man. Still feeling nauseous. So I had to bite the bullet and go White Cross. I tried to get a GP appointment, nothing available. Waited for about 4.5 hours. Only just to hear that maybe you've just been under the weather and that's your body telling you to have a rest, like go sleep, go relax, man, and just stay hydrated, eh? But I just realized there's times if I don't have a break on time, but I'm really urging to go sit down, or I need a drink of water, but I might just stay in a bit longer just to, because I got to get undressed in the overalls and stuff at work. But now I'm just happy that the doctor was like, oh, we'll check your bloods and your sugar levels. Blood pressure was a little bit high, but nothing abnormal. I've been on top of my medication and stuff like that, but it was just sucks, eh? I've never felt like that, but I felt like I was just hungover. It's a good way to explain it. After being a ngiva, my eyes were makapongi, and I was like, fuck, man, just can't shake it off. But yeah, had a cold shower yesterday. Felt like it was a good start to the day, but then the energy is just not there, So yeah, I've just been trying to stay hydrated, drinking a bit of Pedialyte and the electrolytes and stuff, trying to replace all that food I probably lost it by not eating as well. But it sucks, eh? It sucks, man. Especially as I'm sure this guy at work thinks I'm bullshit, eh? But like, fuck, man, it's like, oh no, man. Like, if I show up, man, like, I'm there to fucking work, man. I'm not there to fuck around, you know what I mean? Like, if I got something intention to do for the day, fuck, my mind says fucking get up and do it. Don't fuck around. Like, why would I want to be at work? I'd want to be on an island fucking enjoying life, you know? But I mean, I gotta get up and go to work, I gotta clock in. But it almost feels like some people think I'm papelo, eh? Like, fuck, why lo se company after 2 days they need a medical or even like a day and a half? I'm like, oh, is that fucking in the contract? That just fucking cracks me up, eh? But even today, like, fucking probably, I could probably go back and get a medical, say, fuck, I still don't feel right, but it's gonna bite the bullet and go, man. Like, I need to get paid, you know? But yeah, man, if anyone knows of any other guys out there that need some fucking people that work, man, fucking crack the whip and PM me. So, man, it's just fucking, yeah, I hate being somewhere where they obviously feel like I'm mighty pabello, man, like, you know? I don't think it's worth fucking losing money, especially when your kamaikis ain't got a fucking eat. But nah, otherwise, nah, man, I'm just, yeah, even now, like, I'm feeling a bit, feeling hungry, but not hungry, you know? It's like my mangava feels empty, but not feeling, yeah. I just don't feel right, bro. Just, yeah, to put it, short and sharp, but yeah. How about you, Cams? How you been? Like your flag at the back too, by the way.
But yeah, man, good week. It's been a pretty good week. Try to focus on other stuff other than work. But I managed to finish this book I was reading. It's called The Revenge of the Tipping Point, and it's by Malcolm Gladwell. It's an awesome book. It blew my mind. And it's about social engineering. And it's sort of like if there was like a higher power out there, like, you know, people conspiracy theories about government and like the, what do you call it, the Illuminati and all that kind of stuff. It's controlling everyone. Nah, mate, it's not. It's something. It's different, eh? It's a kind of higher power that makes sense, and it's called social engineering. And so, to give you guys an example, it's like scientists have found out how to influence communities, and they've done it by experiments, like social experiments, and it actually works. And he describes it. It's been done over the years. There's like a magic number that comes up where when the influence starts to take over the community, and it's 33%. It's a third of anything, right? So that's the magic number. The magic number is 33%. So, for example, if you get a boardroom in a corporate boardroom of 9 males, right? It's a male dominant, right? If you put one woman in there, so you get 8 men, 1 woman, that woman's influence counts for nothing at all, right? You get a second woman in there, so you get 2 women and 7 men, right? Still the same result. 2 women, 7 men, still the same result. The women don't get any influence. You put a third woman in there, it becomes a third, right? Then you start getting influence. Then you start getting a woman's influence in that space, right? So that's a small example of that 33%, so a third. So that's the magic number. So, and you can apply that to anything. How big it is, anything. So if they did all these experiments and they've proven that fact that there's a magic number of influence, 33%, then you can see that if you know this idea of 33%, you can pretty much apply that to anything to control something. So you can get things over that 33% mark to change something. Or if you don't want anything to change, keep things under the 33% mark, and that won't change. So that's a powerful thing. If you apply that to like anything in the community where you want to change something, or if you apply it to anything like diversity, they try to use diversity on things, that's the magic number to change that culture. So yeah, man, I just finished reading that and it blows my mind, eh? It's a good book to read and it's interesting, eh? It's like, it makes you think about society and how communities are made, and how communities, how the culture in communities can be controlled. It's like the blueprint of how people think. Like, to me, conspiracy theories of Illuminati and all that are bullshit, you know, I don't believe in all of that, but this is like the way if you were going to do that, the way you can use that 33%. And yeah, it's interesting there. So yeah, that's the Revenge of the Tipping Point book that I've just finished reading. It's pretty good. Yeah, man, just doing that. I had a uneventful week. Just work, same old, same old. Didn't do anything this weekend. Just stayed home. Watched a lot of sport. Getting into NBA again. So watched some NBA games yesterday, and now doing the NBA ESPN Fantasy. I haven't done that before, so I've jumped on that on a $50 each league. So $50 for the pot. So see how I go. But yeah, man, that's my week. Sweet boys, getting to our topic. So Mike King, what are you guys' thoughts?
Man, like I've dealt with like some tragedy in the past that's involved mental health. And alcohol is one of the things that doesn't help, bro. Like I know that for sure, bro. And if you go to the Mental Health Foundation webpage and that like looks at suicide and the causes of suicide, and like one of them is substance abuse, and under that is alcohol and other recreational drugs. So anything that impairs your thought, your train of thought, it's just gonna amplify those dark thoughts in your mind. Like man, like I've got like 15, 16 bottles of whiskey at my house. And I was going through some hard shit for the last couple of weeks, man. Not once did I think of opening a bottle. Not once. That's when you need your friends, your support crew. And what Leti said before, prayer. My king is he's playing with dangerous trains of thought. Like he's playing with fire. Like what he says. A lot of people look up to him, especially for mental health in New Zealand. And like for him to say that, like, oh, if my king says it's alright, then a couple of beers will be alright. Totally leading down the wrong path, but yeah, it's very dangerous, and yeah, especially with a person with that much influence in the community. But yeah, that's my 10 cents.
My thought was thought the way the question was put to him was maybe taken out of context, but then after reading what he had said from the initial question, I think the way he answered that question was, say, for example, that there's no phones around, there's no one around, it's just you and your thoughts. There's a bottle of liquor, have a few glasses, see how it feels. And I think the initial feels from it is just that numbing effect, eh? Is it, just to numb what's real? I get that. I get that how you can say out loud that, hey, yeah, the bottle's it's gonna help numb the feelings. It's just like heartache, right? Like people that has like, I think at least a third. He will use that number. The third, there will be a third of the population, or like teens that have grown up with heartache and then had a got on the piss and then felt like shit the next day and be like, fuck, it wasn't worth feeling like shit the next day, And I think that's how he probably was trying to say it, eh? Like saying that it's a coping mechanism, but it ain't gonna fix you, right? But yeah, for someone to have the status that he has, especially promoting his I Am Hope, what a ridiculous sort of what a like to use substance abuse, like that's fucking,
Yeah.
it's just poor choice of words, eh? But for him to keep going and say, nah, I stand by my words, I stand by my words. And what's funny is that Chris Luxon's like stood by him and said that, but his stats, well, he's not really using the stats, eh? I think he's using the cost that I Am Hope, can afford to give these one-on-one conversations to whoever needs them. That's all he's sort of looking at. So time will tell whether he's got the I don't know how, and more probably the choice of words for him to be able to carry on campaign the way he is. Because I'll be surprised if come next week there's an outcry for him to get his funding pulled. Because yeah, I don't know. Like it doesn't matter how you put a spin on it. Even if he had said, "Nah, that's not what I actually meant. This is how I was meant to say it." But it's too late. So people really started writing articles, eh? And the funniest thing that I saw was was a guy on X who wrote an article, and he's been trying to write something about Mike King for ages, eh? And he was like, sort of like saying, fuck, it's more ego, eh? So as someone who's had an ego from going from stand-up comedy to promoting pork to then having this health thing, but then it's almost like he's fucking put himself up there like a god, and he's become untouchable by trying to say what he said. And I feel, fuck that. And if you read that guy's article, man, like, fuck, it's pretty good, eh? I'll quote him by saying, alcoholics say alcohol is a solution. It's not a particular long foundation on which to form an argument. And like that dude who wrote that was obviously had it in for Mike and just waited for him to fuck up. And I think for him to land the funding, the only thing that makes it look real shady is that the deal was done behind closed doors. There wasn't a sort of like, okay, here's how you can apply for it. These are the different sort of health, mental health, like, you know, things out there. So you apply, and if you tick off everything on this questionnaire, you'll get your funding. But whereas, like I said, Chris Luxon just saw the numbers. Oh, $3. Oh, sweet. Chuck the $3. Chuck them $24 million. It's going to cost them $3. Just like they did with the kids can, man. Okay, we'll redo it. They don't give a fuck if kids like it or not. They're just going to cut costs and just, they save their money. So it's just, yeah. I think it's a poor choice of words. But time will tell whether my king will still have his money in the next quarter. That's my 5 cents.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of the gold complex you're talking about, and I saw the headline of that article. I didn't read it though, but then it was like, yeah, it is kind of like a statement you could make if you had a god complex, so to speak, because that's the kind of statement you don't make if you have this big responsibility of having a charity like that helps deals with mental health, because that's a sensitive subject. And I know for me, from experience, like with me, my relationship with alcohol was probably a different one, because I've never used alcohol as a way to escape problems and that. I've just used alcohol to have fun. And, you know, like, I drank a lot in my 20s. I drank a lot, but that was not because I was unhappy. It was because, you know, I just wanted to go out with do what everyone did on a Friday night, Saturday night. But then, you know, you just get used to that sort of lifestyle, and it just becomes part of your life every weekend, you know? Yeah. And then without knowing it, you know, you might miss out on stuff like thinking about your future, or even saving money. I mean, it's a big blow to the bank account, you know, especially if you're in my shoes back then, you know, in early 2000s, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, but just going down in the weekends, you know. So that's not a good thing. But yeah, man, I've slowed down a lot. Like I haven't had a beer. Well, if I do have a beer, it's only about 1 or 2, and that's it. Maybe once a week. But I haven't really had a sort of like a binge drink in a long time. And you know, I can see my bank account's healthy. You know, it's like no more hangovers. Yeah, you know, it's good. I can have a 2-day weekend. But yeah, that's sort of my sort of experience. And I remember younger, when I was younger and drinking, I didn't understand about depression and alcohol. I didn't understand why people were alcoholics. I didn't understand the word alcoholic. I didn't know what alcoholic meant. So all I saw was alcoholic was, you know, people that drink every single day. And I thought that was cool. I didn't think it was a problem, you know? But yeah, it's kind of, so what I'm trying to say is I don't have the experience of like knowing the bad effects of drinking alcohol and how that leads to mental health and how that leads to suicide rates and that. So I wouldn't speak on it, but I can understand, you know, the numbing of emotions, especially negative ones, you know, and numbing of trauma. So that's the thing, right? So that's the thing. So I guess I'm leaning towards what the studies show, what the studies say, that, you know, there is a correlation between alcohol and suicide rates and depression, and what Mike King said was sort of irresponsible.
That's the word.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen next, if he can recover from this. It's bad PR anyway for for this charity and organization. Like no one wants to be associated. If you got 24 million to give away to someone like Mike King, and you think it's a good cause, we got to do this. And next minute, the contrary happens from that good cause, and hold up, put the handbrakes on the 24 mil.
Think of it like this: if you showed out on a T-shirt, would you buy it and would you wear it and think it was cool? Fuck you! Everyone look at you and think you're fucking stupid, man. That's to put it lightly and simple. So,
Shit, yeah.
Good luck trying to sell that T-shirt. I am hope.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a stab in the back for everyone that supports me, sort of thing, eh? Especially people that are depressed from alcohol and hear that. Like, okay, it might be good for you, but what about me? You know? Man, there's a spectrum. There's always a spectrum with everything. There's going to be, on the edges, you're going to have the outliers, but in the middle, you're going to get a majority in the middle that have a problem. Like, if there's, man, then you don't understand that. You're going to understand that. And there's going to be outliers. There's going to be, and Mike King's probably, when he said that, is one of the outliers.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not alcohol that makes him depressed, it might be something else. It's trauma or whatever it is. Like, it's different for everybody. It's different for the different people. You know, if it's not drugs, if it's not alcohol, it's going to be drugs. You know? So, yeah, it's just a weird, bizarre chain of events. Don't want to shake your head. Shake your head to that, mate. Gumboot Friday? Man, take your gumboots off, mate. Shit. Anything more on that one? Move on. I think a guy named David Tua needs some money, so maybe some of that money can go there. Nah. Yeah, I hope things work out for Mike King. You know, we can't disregard his work, the work he has done before he made that statement. So hopefully he can backtrack and realize it wasn't the right thing to say and get things back on track with Gumboot Friday and I Am Hope. Okay, boys. So next story, Filippo. He posted up a little article that happened at the Travis Scott concert. So a bit of controversy there with Travis Scott. Like me, I'm not really a fan. I've heard some of his music, but only because it's popular with the kids, and I've just heard the song secondhand through the kids, especially when he did that concert on Fortnite. So I don't know if you guys know, but all the kids were into Fortnite. Well, yeah, the concert on Fortnite inside the game, and you had to show up at a certain time and go to a certain place inside Fortnite and see the concert. And man, it was awesome, man. Like the idea of having a virtual concert within the game, a virtual game or internet game, and for everyone to show up in the avatars, you can actually see him perform inside the game. It was pretty cool. So all the kids were doing that. So that's probably when I first heard about a guy named Travis Scott. That's probably the first time I heard it because it was a big PR stunt. So everybody knows about Travis Scott. His music's like that mumble rap sort of music, like the trap kind of style, which I'm not really into. Can't even understand what they're talking about. Same beats, you know. I wouldn't even tell the difference between all the trap rap artists out there because they all sound the same. But yeah, man. So he had a concert booked for Thursday in Auckland at Eden Park, and last minute he changed it to Wednesday. So that means everyone that bought tickets at that time was like $300, $300+ Everyone that bought tickets thinking it was a Thursday concert had to sort of change their, especially the ones from outside of Auckland, had to change their schedules when they changed the date to a day earlier to Wednesday, right? So a lot of angry fans who bought tickets for $300, and because they changed it, tickets dropped to like $30 in some tickets. So from $300 to $30, right? So that pissed a lot of people off, and plus people couldn't come to the concert because they booked for Thursday, but they changed to Wednesday. So you know, it's a lot of that happening. A couple of guys from my work, a couple of the younger guys, they were going to the concert. So they were talking about it when I was at work on Wednesday, talking about the Travis Scott concert. That's the first time I knew. I didn't know he was coming. So when they talked about it at work, I was like, oh, okay, it's true. I remember him. He was their Fortnite guy. But yeah, they go, and some of my family members went too. Some of the younger ones, they went to the concert too. The next day at work, they come and they just talked about how there were all these fights happening, right? All these fights, but apparently there was no you know how you have the acts before the main act? There was none of that. So the gates were open, and they were like, everyone was there, and Travis Scott didn't come 2 hours later. So there was 2 hours of nothing. And the DJ came out an hour before. So the thousands of people at the venue waiting for nothing. So there was like a mosh pit in front, and these Fight Club fights started happening. So it got caught on film. People on phones, and they got sent to the Herald, and the Herald did the article about it. And there was actually another event that happened in the stands. So I think an adult male was beating up on another guy. So yeah, a few altercations going on at the concert. But I just thought when I was hearing about it, I was thinking, oh man, what a bullshit! What kind of concert is that, man? What kind of fucked up concert is that? But yeah, man, you guys' thoughts on that?
Oh man, I don't know much about this guy or his music, but we were security, man. You know, like, because when fights happen in crowds, like the dangerous thing is it could cause like a stampede effect where people rush over, and like people can get crushed. But yeah, I don't know, man. We were security.
Yeah, man. If Travis Scott walking in the room, I would get hit up. I don't even know. Anything I know about Travis Scott is around Jordan Day, Travis Scott, Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan's like, that's all I know. But the fighting, I don't blame them, man. Like, fuck, if I experienced something like that, like, sorry, man, I got touch game on Thursday night, and then the boys go, fuck, hey, sorry, concert's tonight. What do you mean? It's changed to Wednesday. I'll be angry too.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, guess, man. Then, you know, just started a ripple effect of like, peace out your own home. Then you gotta jump in the car. You don't know how he's gonna get there. Everything's all fucking chaotic, man. So if you get there, someone look at you sideways because you fucking look stink, or because you didn't have enough alcohol, of course you're gonna start a fight, man. That was probably his intent. So you know, we're gonna make all these people pay $300. Nah, fuck it. They can't sell the tickets, get them cheap. But just start smashing everyone up and see what they do, man. I bet you security would have been like, fuck that. There's no way.
I'm my day off.
Those guys. No way. But yeah, that's crazy. It's like the post says, man, whoever was with the A&E bill, but I'm surprised like there's nothing reported on arrests.
Yeah. Because they were white.
Oh, that's exactly it.
Exactly. So
A couple of plasters and probably what? And that's it.
I bet you if a Tongan fan like farted the wrong way at the other game, it'll be all over the news.
I'd be surprised if they make a massive as post about all the rubbish, like the sticks from the flags.
Yeah.
They filled up maybe like 3 or 4 bins.
Firstly, that's the widest rapper name I've ever heard. Travis Scott. It's not even his real name. Anyway, I didn't even know that either.
But it was you can still see the stage at the MMT Kiwis game, though. Hey? So it was a big screen. It's like a big stage.
Oh, no, I think that was for someone else.
Oh, was it?
Because Eden Park was the Travis Scott concert, eh?
Oh, well, I don't know. That's what you gave this.
But Go Media Stadium, I think it was for someone else. Yeah, another band coming.
But that's poor, though. Day before. Who does that, eh? Oh, no. Travis Scott does.
Yeah. Maybe you should stick to Fortnite. So I want to bring up a little thing that came of our chat. So I know we did the episode 2 weeks ago on the Hana Schmidt, calling it New Zealand born Samoa's humble. But the man himself, Boom Bullet, he's back. He's come out of retirement. He's back too. I know it's a bit late also. It's a bit late, but good to hear you chime in as well. Everybody's been chiming in, and we thought we were going to be the last to do it, eh? We said in our podcast we were going to be the last to say the final say. Didn't expect Boom Bullet to come back and be the last one to say something. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna play it, eh? I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play the little clip.
Yo, it's your boy Boom Bullet.
Shout out to You Know What It Is.
You know what it is.
I wasn't thinking of making any more videos anytime soon because I'm too busy looking after my family here in New Zealand and in the island. But I'm making this video because I'm not happy about that girl. Maybe most of you know that girl who said all the Samoans in New Zealand needs to be humble. Yeah, that fucking girl. You know why? She kept messaging me. I didn't reply, and then she kept calling me. Okay, to come on her broadcast. Okay, I'm sorry, but I am not keen to come on your radio station or your broadcast. Because otherwise you're gonna tell me to be humble. Okay, I'm already humble. I'm not fucking standing up. I'm sitting down, see, and talk to everyone nicely. So you already caused a world war on Facebook and TikTok. And now you're trying to start another world war with between me and my partner. Because yesterday you called me randomly on Messenger without texting me if you can call me. And my partner said to me, who the fuck is that ringing you? I said, oh, is this fucking girl, the girl who needs to be humble, is keep calling me to come on her broadcast. And my girl was like, what the fuck? And then, yeah. First of all, I am not your fucking boyfriend. Second, I am not your dad. Third, I am not your mom or auntie or any of your family member or your friends. So you need to stop calling my phone. I'm already taken. And yeah, I already got a bacon and egg pie. I don't need a beef and cheese or steak and cheese anymore. I don't need a, so yeah. Whoever if you're friends with this girl, get someone to tell her, don't call or message. At least I'm being nice to you, okay? I'm being giving you the warning video. I'm not uploading any screenshot or anything. So that girl needs to be humble. Please stop calling me, okay? And yeah, you know what it is. That's all, man. You know what it is. Peace.
You guys thoughts?
Okay. My girlfriend made him do the video. You better tell that bitch. But sorry, like, big ups to him for exposing it. Like, if she was messaging him and whatnot. But yeah, he's already got his bacon and egg, man. Doesn't need no steak and cheese.
Well, doesn't want to eat steak and cheese pies, guy. Bit late to the party though with the videos. Nah, but nah. Yeah, I think it's one of those. Yeah, I don't know if he did it to be funny or whether it was serious. But yeah, I thought it was a bit of a little laugh too. Eh? But I mean, there we go again. Those crabs in the bucket, man. Putting each other down. Sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking about how he was saying this whole thing. This is Hana trying to get him to be on a guest on her show, right?
Mm.
And this is the thing these podcasters go through, man. You get rejected, man. You get rejected when you reach out to people. It's a real thing, man. You know, and you never understand. Like, sometimes when I used to do it, right? I did it. You go out there on the DMs, and all you get is a scene. You know, you get the scene sometimes and no reply. So, but then, you know, you kind of get, what do you call it? You get a little bit on the down buzz, when that happens, but you just have to understand that people, you know, don't really, you know, people probably are not equipped to come on the podcast and stuff like that. So it's just a thing you have to learn. But yeah, man, I remember reaching out to a lot of people and getting a lot of rejections, but at the same time you get a lot of hits too. So a lot of people then they want to come on the podcast as well. So there's that too. So yeah, man, that's the thoughts I had when he rejected the call. But to actually go on social media and explain why he rejected the call, that was hilarious to me. You know,
Yeah,
so that was funny.
Yeah, hold up. Charlie, be humble. The angry guy.
Yeah, man, and then I just want to touch on the humble thing again, because you know, it's just like, who cares, man? Like, it doesn't even matter. These people on these platforms, when they tell Samoans what to do or who they should be, it really doesn't really matter, eh? Like, you can be anything you want. Don't worry about it. Like, you understand yourself what you have to do. You don't need anyone to tell you what to do. And hearing it always come up again through social media when people talk about that time when Hana Schmidt said what she said, I mean, it resonated with a lot of people. And I guess, you know, people are still reflecting on it. But at the end of the day, like, you know, when it comes up, I just reminded about what the discussion was. And then I just think, you know, at the end of the day, you know, no one listens to anybody outside their family, outside their, you know, Everyone knows what to do. Like it's just a normal thing. It's norm. It's a norm, right? It's a thing. It's our culture. So it doesn't really matter. Like do what you do. So I guess that's what Boom Bullet was trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, boys. Is that it for the topics? Shall we get into some sport?
Yeah, man.
So Samoa Fetu, they beat Fiji in the final. So they go to the relegation game, next week. I think Samoa does, because that's the second tier, right? That's the second tier. Because the first tier is the Black Ferns and Kangaroos.
Oh,
So
is
now
that
they
how
get
that-
to, So now they get to play another game with the bottom seeded tier 1 team. They play them to relegate to see if they make it to the first division for next year. I think that's how it works, and for the men's too. Because I think since the Kiwis lost against Tonga, and we'll talk about that game, they have to play PNG for a relegation game for next year.
True. Because they're cutting the World Cup from, is it 16 or is it 12 to 10, eh?
Really?
Yeah, I think that was for the next Rugby League World Cup. They're going to get it around, lesser games. I think so the rests are longer in between. And for the broadcastings as well.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
But that'd be mean, eh? They're like, that's... You just hope that New Zealand doesn't get stuck in the same trouble of Australia and New Zealand. I mean, the Samoa, the Fetu doesn't get stuck in the same draw of like England, you know? Because then it's going to suck. But then after watching that highlights game, fuck, that's good rugby, eh? That's good league to watch, man.
Yo.
I think going forward it'll be better if we get more games, eh? The girls get more games under their belt. Because, man, you can see the individual talents there. But yeah, just like any well-oiled structured team, eh? The more games they get under the belt, the better, the more confident they are when they go on the field.
I'm really impressed with the infrastructure for women's rugby league, especially what they've got in the NRL, the women's NRL. Because, man, it's really professional, eh? And they got a lot of girls playing that sport, and they get them up through high school, so they've got like a good programs for women in rugby league in Australia. And if you see the competition, the WNBL, and you compare it to the Super Rugby version, man, it doesn't compare, eh? Like you wonder why girls from here don't pursue that career, because you're gonna get paid, right? You're gonna get paid, and it's a better spectacle. It's on TV. It's on all the sports channels. You know, it's really, they put a lot of effort into making it a big deal over there in Australia, and it seems like it's a much better sort of spectacle than the women's rugby union here. I don't know. I'm just assuming because you see it on TV. You see the awards they have. They amalgamate the men's awards with the women's awards. You know, it's really the men's game rugby league in Australia really helped the women's game. They really make them a part of the competition, part of the environment, part of the event, like a big family. You know, and I read Ruby Tui's book, and she talks about in her book like the early days of women's rugby union, how they struggle to try and fit within the NZR, because the NZR is like focused on the men's, and when it's more like they have to wait until the whole world when the whole world starts to push the women's agenda, that's when NZR starts taking notice and starts helping out, which is like the opposite what you see in Australia. So yeah, I'm really impressed with the Samoa Fetu team and the way they played. I guess a lot of those girls go play in the WNRL, so they'll get good experience and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, as well as our Kiwi friends as well. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I watch a lot of the Farah Cup games, and the crowds are pretty small. But no, you're right. The NRL's kind of showed respect to the women's game. They've invested a lot of money. Yeah, that's a big word, respect. They've actually shown the girls a lot of respect. I've been watching the women's NRL when they first started, and crowd numbers were actually pretty decent when they started. But man, it's like the last few years, it's just amped up. State of Origin at Suncorp for the women's was huge. those crowd numbers were massive, you know. And it wasn't even like a proper curtain raiser to another game. It was just people were there with actual posters of the women's names on them. Like, you know, it was pretty amazing. But the structure is just, yeah, you're right. The infrastructure is like massive, and they've just pumping money on it, and they've just advertised it quite well. They've marketed it really well. Even watching the Fetu versus the Fiji game last night, the halves for Samoa were really good. They had really good passing options. The forwards, the Samoan forwards, like watching the Farah Cup near the end of the game, the larger women are quite tired. You know, they're quite fatigued. But in this game, because they shortened the time, I think that's helped keep the game quite fast paced. Because man, you saw that last try that the Samoan girl scored, bro. She looked like she could run for another 20 minutes, bro. The fitness, the discipline of the Fetu Samoa was like amazing. So my hats off to the NRL for like making another beautiful product that's quite enjoyable to watch. Yeah, I wish I had the same for Farah Cup. I still enjoy watching it, but the NZAE needs to show a bit more support for them.
Yeah, that big difference, like you said, the respect part of it. Because I reckon even the stories as well. Because when I watched the Dally M Awards, when they included the women too, like when some of the women won, I forgot their names. I'm sorry, I forgot their names, but there was one girl that won an award. I don't know what position it was, but they acknowledged her family. So she was actually Brett Stewart's niece, you know, and that connection there, just to acknowledge that, you know, that's like a story, right?
Yeah.
And so that brings more interest, and that's a good thing, you know, like that's part of creating a story that makes the game more accessible to a lot of people, you know, like that relationship. Like if you're a Manly Seagulls fan like me and you hear that, you go, oh, okay, that's the niche right there, you know. That's like a little connection thing, right? You know, so yeah, it's good, it's good. And I think these are little tricks that you can do to help your culture or your competition or your story, yeah. Because it's all about having a good story, right? And that's what New Zealand lacks in sport: stories, good stories. You know, to make especially Super Rugby, man. Like you need some stories, man. Just too scared to put everything out on there. Just too scared. Like you shouldn't be. Yeah. So yeah, the big game last night, man. MMT. Well, it's MMT to people in Tonga. It's MMT to the Tonga organization, but to the players is it's just Tongan 13.
Tongan 13, eh?
Yeah, but man, for them to beat the Kiwis on their home ground, which didn't even look like a home ground, looked like they were playing in Tonga. But that sea of red, man, talk about the sea of red all the time when they play in New Zealand. You know, that sea of red is a thing. But man, that touched my heart, man, was that hymn that the whole crowd, the sea of red, was singing during the game. Like, man, what the hell did that come from, man? And I felt like, damn, how come Samoans can't do that? You know? But man, that passion, that, you know, to support their team, like to make the guys really feel at home, eh? Like to play and man, sorry for the Kiwis, man, because that's their home country. And what other country in sport has a home game and doesn't have support like that?
You heard it here first, Wolves. You heard it here first, man.
I mean,
so we're in New Zealand. We're in New Zealand, and the Tongan 13 are playing, and then the crowd singing a song for the visiting nation. Outshines any black or white flags in the crowd or any Kiwi supporters, jerseys in the crowd. That from what I saw on TV, you could not see any Kiwi supporters, man. Even I feel sorry for the cameraman who had to try and find them. Man, it would have been like, well, the next two guys we can see in shot. Right, that guy on the mixing board must have been like, oh my gosh, where are they? Just mix one out, take a photo of someone from an old game, mix it in.
Well, they had to change lens. The cameraman had to change lens for the Kiwi supporter shots.
Yeah,
the zoom in shots. But then he had to change lens for the Tongan supporter shots. He had to change lens to a wide shot.
But you know, I'm also gonna say this, bro, and I'm not gonna say it with my chest, but I'm gonna say it like, to the bro, Samoan, plays for the Dolphins. I'm not gonna say his name, but I'll just say it like this: to the bro, Samoan, he's going handy on the haka, you know. And man, if you're gonna take the penalty kick, man, go practice those kicks every day, man. Just saying, as a taxpayer, if you're gonna practice those sort of kikis and even those drop kicks, fucking do it off both legs, man. You know. This is Fia Poko and trying to win in the glory, and then Kaipu Muli, and then your captain looks at you and goes, "Hard luck, my cousin." And then you're like, because bro, you'd be feeling a certain way in the changing room, bro. If I was in that game, I'd be like, "Gaya, get it, kiki, silly." I would have just said it to him straight up. Let it marinate, you know. Right, because you know that game. This is better as how we lost the World Cup, man. We had chances, right? We had chances, man. And to come back from that deficit, like, that's why the Kiwis are one of the best teams in the world, man. But just yesterday, bro, I think, yeah, the Hims must have just got them over the line, eh? Because, bro, that kick with 5 to go, man. Who picked that, wouldn't they? Whoever picked that at TAP, so they, in the sky loon.
Oh, man, I should have put more money. I've chucked 20 on it, eh?
On the Kiwis?
Down the Tongans. But, man, I was sweating because 24 hours. Like, oh. My lunch money's on the line, man. My lunch money's on the line.
Well, you must have got a good return. Did you do a bet during the week or?
Yeah, during the week. So I got 60. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think during halftime, I think the Kiwis were on the odds was $10. So, yeah, man. You know, Tonga, they came out strong, eh? That first half, they were just dominant, had all the momentum. They had all, man, every set was like a 70-meter set, eh? Wow. It was like they were pushing forward every time. I think the only time Kiwis had attack their line was after the 20th minute. So, man,
the thing about that Auckland team is their backline look like forwards.
Yeah, they're huge.
Forwards run like backs.
Yeah.
How do you stop that?
Man, you know what? I watched that game. I watched last week's game too against Tonga and Australia, and I thought the same thing. Like the score was only 6-0 at halftime against Australia. So yeah, you know Tonga, they've got the goods to get over the line. Australia just had the punch to finish it off, and that's what you got to do when you play Australia. It's like playing the All Blacks. Say you got to play the full 80 minutes, but they've got what it takes. Eh?
But where's this next game though? Is that played here or is it an Oz?
It'll be an Oz.
Well, see, that's it, eh? Unless they play out in Penrith, for Parramatta, but it's hard to try and duplicate what we do down here. But I mean, that would be the difference for the boys, like, you know, if you're playing, eh? To hear the crowd like that. And even for the players, man, like, because that kick, bro, like, straight up, that kick, it was on the line, eh? If he had been just behind the line, we would have, the Kiwis would have lost by 2, but, bro, that's the stuff he would have practiced as a kid. Eh? I bet you he wasn't saying Tonga. I bet you would be like, for the Kiwis. Yeah. Next minute. Oh, bro, no, for Tonga.
I thought the way Tonga played, they could beat they'll beat the Samoa as well. When I watched the Samoan
Funny,
game.
you said it also. I was thinking about you said it. Good on you.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah, definitely, bro.
I mean, they're bigger. They're a bigger team, man.
Yeah.
They're massive.
After, like, struggling against England, like, fuck, like, it's all a struggle, bro. Like, I don't know, just their decent sets to get out of the half. Bro, they, like, struggle, man. It's like you're watching the Warriors back in the day for them to get out of their half. It's like they need break and play to sort of get them up, you know? But you just watch the highlights of the Tongan team, bro. They're just running rampant, man. Like, Tom Malolo, like, no, it's like no one wants to tackle him. Give it to Blake, no one wants to tackle him. But this was the top, like, the English are coming up to meet the fence in. It's like, okay, so who are we going to give it to next to run it out of our half? It's like, yeah, no one wants to play.
The way Tom Malolo played made the Cowboys get pissed off, eh? Man, why aren't you playing?
Thinking that right
now.
now.
Play like that for us, man.
Just thinking that right now, man.
He's still sour about his full mill, man. He's still sour about it. He's like, fuck.
Yeah, I was thinking about that and Johnson, because Johnson was emotional because, you know, he's back on his home turf. Runs on and looks at the crowd and oi.
Yeah.
What he's going to say on his podcast. But yeah, man, that's what I thought. I thought Tonga right now could beat Toa Samoa the way Toa Samoa is right now. Because when I woke up early to watch the Toa Samoa game against England, and I gotta admit, like Toa Samoa did play better than last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did some good runs. They were better than last week, way better than last week. But again, man, these Super League rules, they are different. These refs are different. Like there's so many calls. This ref was a little bit better than last week's ref, but still, man.
Rules and all that. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, but still, it was kind of like the boys were kind of put off. But they put Blaze in 6, and Milford was off. So I guess that pleased a lot of people, a lot of the fans that Milford was off. But Tarangi didn't do any better. I mean, he didn't. I thought he made one mistake. He threw a pass and it got intercepted. But that was it, I saw. But there wasn't really much difference. In fact, it was like, okay, maybe they should have played Milf. Have a little difference there. But Jerome Loy, he was the man. He was the best, easily the best player for Samoa.
He's crazy good, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? It showed, like, just on the highlights, it's like they're getting caught. Like if the runner's not, like, how you play defense and you just slide across, and you just sort of hope that your inside's moving across. They're getting caught every time, man. Like from the guy running inwards. They're not gonna run around the guys. They're trying to sort of just step inside, and every time they step inside, it's like, oh, so there was no one actually covering, So it's like they just seem to be moving, but they're not committed to making the tackles or trying to shut the inside down.
You're giving Herbie Farnworth too much space.
Oh, he played. He was a beast.
Lock that guy down. We gotta lock him down, man.
He was a beast. He was bumping off players. Yeah, I thought our centers were a little bit weak. Yeah, a lot of holes in the Toa Samoa team. We probably actually needed those guys that were missing. The New and Toa and Cranston. We were missing those guys, and maybe some big dudes in the front. If Payne Haas can change allegiance and Tino,
bro, if they can just come across, if they can just play, man, like, you know what? If I was to die after watching that game, I'll be happy, man. If those two guys just came and played, man, it was just, man.
But they hate each other.
Do they? Oh man.
Yeah, there's always beef between those two. Instead of Roger.
All Blacks, they just beat England. And I was relieved because I had money on All Blacks. So even though I actually wanted England to win, because I just wanted to see. I like seeing Razor squirm in the seat up there in the stands. Like he was worried. He was worried, man. He was like worried. I was like, yeah, take that.
So every time the camera went onto him, he was standing up there.
Shucks.
He reminds me of our old guy I used to work for, Like, my man thinking, yeah, fuck the suffer, motherfucker. Yeah, drinking.
Yeah, so, I had money on All Blacks to win, but I actually wanted England to win. I didn't care about the money. But, I got my bonus and won the money, so all good. But, yeah, man, that was a game. I actually watched the halftime. Sky TV, they need to get the act together because they don't have that. They have this thing in Sky TV where if you come into a game halfway, you can have an option to watch from the start or continue on live. Well, because Samoa game was half an hour before the All Blacks game, I thought, okay, I'll watch the Samoa game. Then after that, I'll watch the All Blacks game and I'll press watch from the start. But when you press the watch from the start, it doesn't even go there. It goes to another channel. It's like, what? This happened on another time, so they haven't even fixed it. So there's like a glitch there in the Sky system. Like, fuck these cunts, man.
They need to give you free Sky for the years.
Pay $50 a month for this bullshit, man. So, because I wanted to watch the whole game, right? But then I couldn't fix it. I didn't know the way to do it. I couldn't do it. It always went to the cricket game, the India and Black Caps. So fuck, I'm trying to watch it from the start. I can only watch it from live, and it was only halftime, so it was start of the second half. So it was already, I think, 14-18, I think, to England.
Yep.
You know what
14,
probably
18?
did it, Oos? You know what probably did it? It was probably the guy's comments about the haka, Oos. That's probably why he did it. Go to the cricket. Straight to the cricket.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a dumb. That comment's been around for a long time. English players always bring that up, even the coaches or whatever. But throughout history, they've always said get rid of the haka. I said, shut up.
I crack up when people say it gives us an unfair advantage. It's like, sorry, if the haka gave us an unfair advantage, Manu Samoa should have won the last 3 World Cups.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut your mouth, man.
Yeah, exactly. Sweet boys. Let's get into a Fia Poko of the week. Let's go, Eddie. Let's go.
Man, like I say every week, man, you cannot make this shit up, bro. Like, the stuff that's coming up on my algorithm, bro, is just next level. You know what? I want to start off with what happened in Samoa with Fia and what looks like her 1 and 2 walking to meet the king himself. Now, am I seeing right? Did the guy just take the phone out of his pocket and just go misclick?
Yeah.
Like, and that's from Hey Solly Wayne. Like, what is he up to, eh? That shout outs to Amuya T Ferretti for that sharing that. Like, what is he doing?
King Charles
He's on
not
the
even
clock.
interested.
He's on the clock, bro. What are you doing? Very few men was like, oh man, if you could get a little here.
Wasn't there like protocols as well with the royal family? Like,
Hard.
there's things you gotta. I wonder if they brief everyone before they arrive, like what you have to do.
Because I'm sure they would have said no cell phones, no medals, whatever, inside like a building like that, unless you're like further back or with media. But where did this guy get his phone?
You know, I've seen
made phone ones.
You know, it's funny. I've seen on social media now. You know how people, when they make a comment, they put the 2 eyes at the end.
Yeah.
Now people are putting that picture of Fia do her look.
Oh, yeah. This is what happens when I click on Instagram stuff. So the kid bowls the ball, and he goes to chase his point, and the other guy doesn't want to run. So have you ever been to those kalongas and you hit the ball and the guy just still standing at the crease, and you're like, shit, what are you doing? Like, run. Yeah, this guy's like, nah, get out, man, just fucking run. So he sets him up big time, bro. Like, honestly, man, I was like thinking to myself, nah, that can't be real. But not that turn back and go stay at the crease. Bro,
He still doesn't run.
He still doesn't run. But you gotta laugh at the guy who tries to throw the ball, and he's standing right there at the wicket. And then the rolls all the way down our field, and then the guy has time to run back to the crease. Oh, sorry. You cannot make this shit up, man. But what I know as a parent, if I was a parent of one of those kids, I would go sus at the coach. Just for not like, what the hell are these kids doing at cricket, man? The hell?
We all participate.
So there's a guy, he's standing on the top of a slide at a swimming pool. Now I'm thinking to myself, like, what's he doing? And we got a comment, it's like, not the but my back, but I can't reach my back. That's so. Like, I was thinking, it's not going to end well. That's what I was thinking. It's not going to end well. But if you can see, the slide is probably like a third the size of his moolie. So, yeah, that's just, what are you thinking, eh? So I titled that, Why? Like, why? Just.
Or made a 20-year-old decision in the middle age body. Shit.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Oh, what? Man.
I think going into the future, like ACC forms aren't gonna be like handwritten. They're just gonna ask you, "Can I have the footage?" Can you just give them the footage? And then gale. And bro, I came across this classic one, bro. And these like video, it's like Grand Play. So I thought this is brilliant, man. Like whoever came up with like this video here, it's like an editing one. So you watch the guy, he's obviously got the guy recording him and all that. And I thought, so like, that guy wins. Now you win, also, like, the creativity behind the, like the action shot. And he got the low panning shot. Then he turned it to the side. He like, Like, obviously, Hana's from the graduating class of Cam's clickbait, but bro, this was me clickbait, man. I was like, get over here, see? Got me good. Got me good, man. And
We
then,
got a nomination, Simpson.
yeah,
from
and
Tana.
this one's from, it was Frank Haney, and this is titled from Tana, late entry Fia Poko of the week. He's already uppercut himself, so he might win the uppercut. Oh, nah. So this is, ladies and gentlemen, why autopilot wasn't invented on boats. Has to be. Autopilot wasn't invented on boats, but if you can figure it out what's happening, he just got colors of drinking. He's going, hey, hun, do you want a drink? And she's going, yeah, sure, chuck it here, chuck it here, chuck it here. And then he gets up and, Fit, where are you going? This is not.
And now who's driving the boat? Oh.
This is not below deck the Mediterranean right there, bro. But what's even funny is that the chick falls off, eh?
Yeah.
You know who's on the boat?
No one.
With the phone? No one.
Just the phone.
That guy, I think, I don't know. I'll leave it to you guys. Man. But I think I'm going to side with Tana with that uppercut. The uppercut of the week, man. Because, so did he just offer his missus, how is she supposed to grab the drink?
Shit. How are they going to get their boat back? It's going all the way to.
He's probably going
out
to
of
say
the
it's
sea.
stolen. Say it was stolen or something.
Yeah, I'll go with the guy on the slide. That guy, oh my god. How do you feel that's a good idea? Like,
Shit.
He should have procrastinated a bit more.
have a moment.
Yeah. I'll go off the guy in the boat. That's a very expensive decision to make.
No, well, yeah, I'll go off the boat there. You know what I thought when you saw him reach to the bottom of the boat? I thought he was getting himself a drink. How is he gonna give his missus the? Because now she's holding the rope with one hand. What a guy valeu, man.
Like, if that happened in New Zealand, that boat's probably halfway to Oz now. Just drifting.
Okay, sweet boys. Moving on. Shall we get to memory lane?
Yeah, man. We got a special memory lane, and just last week, one of our South Auckland unsung heroes, David the Tua was inducted into the Auckland Boxing Hall of Fame, and it's been a long time coming. But what's funny though is that he shared a story about what actually happened, man. So he actually went as a cruiserweight, and he was supposed to go and lose some kilos to make sure that he stays within weight. And he said he watched all these guys do their own kolengi, but he never actually went and did any running. So he went as far as saying what he actually did. He decided, he said it was getting late. He had a late meal and he actually put on a bit of weight, so he didn't make weight. He ended up fighting as a super heavyweight the next day. What cracked me up is when he shared this memory, is that when he saw all the guys running, he put on a kanga la pisi and didn't run. He went and laid under a tree, and he saw the guys coming back and they were sweating and that, and he decided to go get some water, just finger on his face, and then jumped on the scale and he was overweight. What happened the same day is that he won the amateur boxing championship and he became ranked. So I put it to you, man, like I've seen Dave like knock out some guys like with ease and like doesn't even break a sweat. But like from memory, man, like, and I don't know if you can top it, but you'll never forget when that Lolly song was being played and he was walking into the ring and you were just mesmerized by the moment. Because that's what, the fight of the century in New Zealand boxing history, right? But man, taking you back to the moment, man, can you remember that fight? And I don't need to probably name the guy who ended up on the other end of that, but that fight to me is probably one of the best fights that I'd ever seen Dave fight in, man. And shucks, and it's just cool, like even when Dave was getting us better, that Shane would come for him in the ring later, years later. So yeah, man, just a bit of a throwback. Can you remember the fight that night and what happened?
In sports especially, there's a moment in sports, no matter what the sport is, there's a moment that you remember exactly where you were at, and what you were doing at that time. And David Tua has two of those moments. The first moment was when you fought Lennix Lewis.
Lennix Lewis, yeah.
Everybody knows where they were watching that fight.
Yeah.
I
Sunday
know exactly where I was. I was at uni at the time, and we were at a party at one of the guys in from uni at their flat, and I think I was in Mount Albert. Yeah, I was in Mount Albert watching the Lennix Lewis fight there. The one with Shane Cameron, that's another one, and everyone knows exactly where they were that time. And I was at my cousin's house. Now he's married to a Māori, and she had her family there. So you can see that household was divided. It was her family going for Shane Cameron, and us going for David Tua. And yeah, that was a good night. That was a really good night, especially how it ended for us anyway. But yeah, man, yeah, those moments in sports you always remember exactly where you are.
Yeah, I think the Lennix Lewis fight. After the fight, because we had Kongai and we had all the uncles come over on Sunday. I remember we were running low on food, so like my dad flicked me $20. I went to the bakery to get the pies and some chips and whatnot. So that was a pretty cool day. Just spending time with the family, even though we were lost. It was just cool chilling with all the cousins at our house there. And then the Cameron fight, I remember I had to book it. Like I had to pay the money, and they promoted it as fight of the century. And I didn't really know much about Shane Cameron, and they were talking about the whole mountain goat and mountain warrior and all this. And it kind of like it split the team at work. So they're like, there was a group of boys at work that were like wanting Cameron to win because he was the younger fighter. He could probably go further in his career. And then us Hummels were like, nah, bro, like it's David Tua to the world. So I remember rushing home after work to try and set it up for Dad, and he invited one of his closest cousins over. He was a Beetham, and he rocked up with all my cousins. And same thing, bro. Like we had all these nice biscuits, but they they didn't want to give it to us. They just brought it out for all the uncles and cousins. So I was like, man, I was looking at those biscuits for a whole month, wanting to eat them. Yeah, we did Toa Samoa and everything. But I remember when David Tua did the knockout, me and my cousins were chahooing all over the main road. And then, because our neighbors are islanders too, they came out too. And it was a good night. It's one of those nights you'll never forget.
Yeah.
And that's one of those heavy memories, that happened, man. And I'll never forget, I was in Uruhu. I was at my brother's house watching that fight with my old man and my brother. But yeah, man, just the way Dave ended that combo, like even the first round was like, even the first minute and a half when he caught him with that freaking chick hook, man, I was like, bro, he's got him, he's got him. And what happened after that? But yeah, watching that Lennix fight, bro, that was, I remember we had KFC that day after church, man. I was like, gosh. It was like, it didn't matter. Like, 'cause I think to my parents, it was like, it didn't matter if they've won or not. It's just the fact that he was fighting, like, that was history.
Yeah.
That was history. Like, that's the first Samoan-born dude fighting for something so big. Like, and like, we watched boxing all the time as a kid growing up, man. Like, my dad was always watching boxing. Like, for Dave to get his chance. And like, it could have been either him or Evander Holyfield, you know what I mean? And like, Dave was from their camp, so it was just, it was just cool, man. Like, the seed that Dave's old man planted was, it was there. Like, it come to fruition. Like, the dream was there. He'd already done it. So bro, that's too right, man. There's two memorable moments. Shot day, man. We had a mean feed that day, and just remember his words afterwards. Hey, I did my best. But I've always been big on, bro. If you're gonna do something, bro, do the best you can, man. Yeah, but yeah, Dave, when he said that, I was like, man. But then watching the Shane Cameron fight later, I'll be like, man, had that fight taken place that day, surely, man, Dave would have won. He would have won the world title. But that's a solid memory lane of. But yeah, congratulations on your appointment to the Boxing Hall of Fame and NZ, man. Like, bro, that's way overdue, way.
Yeah, he's moving to Samoa, him and his wife, to live over there. So yeah, it's good. It's good to see people go back to the islands. Had enough of this Western world bullshit. Let's go back home. Just relax and no stress.
Deserves it, man.
All right, boys. What have we been watching? Start with you, Eddie.
Oh man, no. It's kind of boring stuff, but I like it. It's called Imjin War. It's a documentary series on YouTube. You can find heaps of them, but it's about the samurais and when they invaded Korea. Man, you can understand why the Koreans and the Japanese have bad blood. Some of the stuff's shocking, but yeah, just watching those docos and just waiting for one of my usos to come back from America so we can continue watching the TV series from. So I haven't watched anything while he's gone, so I don't don't want to get in trouble when he gets back. But yeah, nothing much really. And I try to watch that Mandate podcast with Steven Setu. I watched the first maybe half hour. I don't know. You can't really zone in on it, eh? So I tried, but yeah, I'll try and watch it in clunks, like patches. But yeah. And then another thing I watched on YouTube is it's like Jubilee Surrounded, where a person with a political idea sits in the middle, and he's surrounded by 20 people with the opposite agendas, and then they just they have a like a chat or debate on a certain topic, and if the people on the outside raise their flags, once they get to 10 people with their flags raised, then they have to switch to a different speaker. So yeah, it's called Surrounded on YouTube. Yeah, but that's about it.
Nice. Yeah, I just started watching this morning because since Treasure Island's finished, me and my wife started watching the restaurant that makes mistakes season 2. I think it's one of my father-in-law's, a couple of his league mates are on it. Yeah, I haven't watched the second episode, but just I think I didn't realize how much like when people get diagnosed with something and like in these new information or these new sort of like sort of healthcare that supports dementia. Like, and I've only just learned that Alzheimer's is a branch. Say dementia's the tree, Alzheimer's is a branch of that tree, and then there's
Wow.
young Alzheimer's. So it's split up into many different cases, right? But I didn't realize like there's not a lot of information and there is no sort of health care for it. Like you can't, like you obviously can't, we can't replace our memory cells and like the way the brain's set up, like and to have it early. Like there's some people that are like you've heard me share about my neighbor. And he's early 60s. He's only 62, but I think early stages of it can be diagnosed at the age of 50, man. And man, just like some of the people that, because this is an experiment where they want to put people into the working environment again, and they want to see how their well-being goes. Because a lot of people, when they get diagnosed, they start with simple forgetting things like the keys, or forget what day it is, or they can't remember their kids' names. Like we've seen like what is done to Carl Heyman, but that's from substantial knocks to the head. But this program is I think there needs to be more sort of programs like it, like experiments. Like this is just an experiment, and the reason why the experiment is happening in a restaurant is because the restaurant owner's nana passed away of it, and so that's why he's willing to do a season 2 and take on a new group, and just for the doctors to monitor their progress from when they started to where they end after the season of operating the restaurant. And that's been a hard watch, if anything, like it's cool to watch, like, but it's been a tough watch, like just emotionally, just seeing like, man, that's what some people go through every day. But I think it's more understanding the isolation, knowing that, now that people know they don't want to employ you, they don't want you to be part of their workplace because you might fuck something up, But at the end of the day, these are still people, and that's where I feel like, man, these poor people that go through that, and they got bills as well, and like how are they supposed to get by? And there's probably not funding for them, for the funding cuts and all the initiative cuts that this government's throwing at us here. There's that, the Fulu family still catching up with those guys, man. That's such a cool watch, man. Anyone that's got time to watch Cooking with Rena, yeah, just same old. Haven't been watching Shorty for a while.
Let it stack up.
Oh man, let it stack up here. Oh,
Let it stack up.
nah, it's just that one couple. It's Harper and Drew, man. It was like every time I watch them, I get angry. I'm like, they always got the same shit, same dramas, man. What did I watch? But I did watch Blood and Blood Out again last night on YouTube. It's crazy, man. But yeah, but that's a classic film, eh? That's a classic film, man. And for the first time, and I'll be honest, this is the first time that I can't hear the Hollywood husband's voice over. First time. Like when I watched it. Get up, Chucky, especially that bit. And especially when up on the mountain. And he's like, check out this view, man, you know. Look, we are the new landlords. That bit. So when that bit happened, bro, I couldn't hear the Hollywood husband's voice. Then I managed to watch the movie just properly. And then I fell asleep when I think I fell asleep inside just after Nicola becomes part of Laonda. So
Oh, yeah. Hey,
I don't want to.
to.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to sing, I want his life. Then he does the killing, and then he ends up with the book. So that's where I must have fallen asleep. But nah, that's all I've been watching. Was
Hey, Cinderella, go find yourself a fella.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately. A lot of YouTube. Haven't watched any movies this week, but yeah, a lot of YouTube. A lot of I watched this because I watched this podcast, and this is going back to the P Diddy thing. So he's actually got his artists. The artists he had. I think he had a group a group called Dirty Money. It was him and it was Sean Combs and two women. Anyway, one of those women artists had a podcast. Was on a podcast just last week, and she was talking about stories defending Puff Daddy, like defending and saying how Cassie's a drug addict. She loves to get high, that sort of stuff. So it was really like sort of like sounded like a PR stunt, like a PR sort of thing, and it was cringe, man. And all the networks were talking about it, as in this is Puff Daddy's attempt to try and get a good word in, you know. But if we watch this podcast and she's in it, she looks stoned, and she's got some mental health issues. The way she's like talking,
Yeah.
it's like you wouldn't even believe anything she says. And like the stuff that she was saying, like she was actually telling the person talking to her that Puff Daddy's actually a good guy and he's done really amazing things for our community, and that Cassie loves to get high. And I was like, man, this is like cringy stuff, man. Because if you think about it, look what happened on the tape. Like we got tape that he's beating her up. Like what's that? Man, you can't even say anything to say anything like that is good.
Yeah.
got her by her hair down the freaking hallway, man. What a
Is that
stunt.
chased
So-
on?
So if this was like a PR stunt from the P Daddy camp, then that's the worst. That's the worst thing you can do. Probably make things even worse. So yeah, that was that. It was funny you mentioned Eddie that you watched the Mandate one with Steven Setsu, because I only managed to listen to 15 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And then it was funny because it made me think about, okay, what did he actually say when he came on back on 135? So I went back on 135 and just I played a few minutes of that, and it's sort of like the same stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I actually challenged some of the stuff he was saying, you know, and it was sort of like I thought that when he was generalizing a lot of stuff, and I tried to take him back to, oh wait, there's some outliers here, like it's not everybody, sort of thing. So he believed it was everybody, so I could even backtrack him on that stuff. But it was kind of like the same stuff when I heard him talk on the Mandate podcast. And it just got to the point where it was just the same old. Like, you know, on the chat when I said I thought that he was like, it reminded me of him being like one of those self-help.
Yeah.
The self-help kind of styles. It's like, it's too, to me it looked too obvious. Like if it is self-help, then why would you listen to someone like that? Like, and that, well, wouldn't you get like a proper professor of sociology or, you know, psychology or something like that, or someone that really knows what they're talking about? Like, to me, it seemed like a recycle of everything that people that do self-help say. And these people, a lot of them can be fake too. Like, there's a lot in Australia. There's like those Winterstein chicks that got famous and got rich doing that self-help stuff, but they're actually recycling what everyone else says in the States, you know, like yeah, it's like copy and paste stuff. So I don't know if this is but the reaction to it, you know, the reaction from the guys from Mandate, you know, the reaction from the public, you know, you see it all, And to me, I don't think I don't know if it's entertainment or people actually believe what he says, or this is something that. But I honestly think that this is a refreshing take on opinions that we don't really get. So you know what I mean? Like a guy like Steven Setu and Hana Schmidt, even Leti Tua on this podcast, like they say so much stuff out there that people don't talk about in the open, but probably say behind closed doors.
Yeah, no.
So people are not used to it, right? But when they say it, when these people say stuff like that, it resonates with a lot of people because now you've got a microphone out there. Now you've got a mouthpiece for what you believe in because you're scared to say it yourself. You know, and I think that's what's happening. And I think that's what's happening. I think that's. And when you get someone like Steven Setu say these kind of stuff that resonates, he's not like an expert, right? He's just a guy saying his opinions. But because it's never said before, people treat it like it is an expert, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think. You know, it's not critical thinking sort of stuff. It's like you believe what the loudest voice is. And it doesn't matter who is the loudest voice. You know? So, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. You know, I'm not saying it's like a bad thing or good thing. I'm saying it's an interesting thing, and we got to figure it out. We have to figure out how to filter this information. But I think it's a good thing that people do step up and say these things because no one else does, and people need to figure out what's right and what's wrong. So yeah, that was my thoughts anyway.
I thought it was a little bit cringe and funny how he says if none of his videos gets any attention, but it gets 3 to 1, and like how he referred to that, like if I can just save one person, I've saved the whole like branch of like a family, you know, like.
Yeah, but where have you heard that before?
Yeah, but
where have you heard that line before?
Yeah.
Like if I could like one person, I don't care if like one person hears me. No, so many people have said that line. Like so many people.
But yeah, it's just funny that it's like, if you can give yourself props, but then he's obviously been through enough wars with the world and the internet that it's like the internet's his world. You know what I mean? It's like, but I think because we're so used to people just, you know how Samoans are just real hush, real humble, or like, oh, just keep your head down on that. It's like if he was in a real world setting with like say all Samoans, how is he gonna be like? How are people gonna receive him? Like, I think some people that walk around like him have that same expectation, like on like how you should be received on Facebook or like on socials, where it's like he might walk into the room and everyone's just like, "So is that your cousin?" It's like, oh, come on, you know? But it's like, I don't know, like, can you separate the two? Because I think some people can't, like, I honestly see some people where they walk around and they think they're hot shit because they made a video or whatever, but in my mind it's like, nah, man, I think that's how you get eaten alive, eh?
I've seen him a couple of times at West City, and he's extremely quiet. It's like he tries to avoid you. Like I was like, oh, yo, supples. He's like, hey, how are you, man? But he's still walking. Like, oh, yeah, gee, you know. Like, I think his alter ego is like, but
harder than how he is.
Yeah, because I remember him from church. So I went to the Pentecostals of Auckland. He was different then. But he was like, I heard rumors about him then, like he was a bit of a sly guy, but I didn't see it. And then he became a rapper, underground rapper, the One Outs, and I started seeing him popping on a few podcasts first with you guys, and yeah, I think he just likes making noise, and if the noise gets him attention, I don't know if he gets a high off the viewership, you know. But just because people watch your videos doesn't mean they agree with you, you know.
Because the flow, bro. I want to see him. I want to see Krista Flo, Steve said to the if fuck your Mr. Fuck your ass and Miguel, just sit there and just chuck them a topic, and let them have a go at each other, man. I want to see who wins that, eh?
Who's the Mr. Fuck You Ass guy?
The Tongan dude.
Oh.
Yeah. Because he did a video.
FYI, was it?
Yeah, if I was FYI.
Is it?
Oh.
He did a video of like how when Australia lost and like, oh, people stitched it up, but I get it, man. He's right, though. He said, like, he waited around for the players to come over, and just before they waited after the game for the Tongan players to come over and say, shake hands, take photos. And he said that one of the players looked at him and then turned away. And then he had his moment. He said, fuck, what a usi. He said, oh, what a fucking die, you know? Because, bro, for the real Tongan fans, you're supposed to go over and shake hands just like the tour. You know, you expect them to come over. You make enough money. Yeah. Just do a lap, man. Go pour lima, you know, Pascal Lima and take a photo. So he said it, but he owned it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I want to see that guy, those guys go at it, like just have a good, like live, dude. It can't be like pre-recorded and that. Just have a go live.
And that other Tongan guy too, the one that had beef with Steven. What's his name? And he eats the raw fish and all that. He has a sort of.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Hello, Stephen. Stephen.
Yeah. Oh, there was another thing that I watched. I want to get you guys' opinion on. So there's a trailer to a new movie, Tina, that's gonna come out soon. And I don't know if you guys saw the trailer, but it's kind of like sort of like what's the Whoopi Goldberg? And she's a
Sister
nun.
Act.
Sister Act. It's like Sister Act, without the nun.
Yeah.
It's funny because I heard Heliot's take on it, and I kind of agree with him. Like he said that, you know, he'd rather see a movie about a South Auckland school going up against these elite private schools in the choir competitions. He'd rather see a movie like that because, you know, he doesn't want to see. He said he didn't want to see like another film that shows white people winning when it comes to him. It gets Pacific Islander to help them out, you know.
Oh, it's absolutely right, man. And I've bitched and moaned about it all the time, man. Like, to me, I didn't see inspiration. I didn't find inspiration in like someone who's in gear about Langi Chinese. It doesn't do anything for me, man. I get no motivation at all, you know. But when I see Samoan people, Tokalao, Tongans, bro, I'm inspired. I'm moved, like emotionally. I'm moved, like, you know. Like even like seeing Treasure Island and Kamau and I think Gabby had that moment, man. Like I was like,
that was powerful,
bro. That was powerful, man. Like, but can you imagine two Barangi doing that or not? It's not the same. Even though Miyamoto, like, bro, my bro's cousin was on there doing that moment, I was like, oh nah, okay, drop your feet, Mia, drop your feet. Like, shh, the hell no, don't let her win, you know. It's like it does nothing for us, but that's just me, but you know. But no, he's bang on 100% right, man. I would rather watch something about our own people and get like, man, like that message and that story is awesome. Because the last thing I read, I wish turned into a film was that guy. I've forgotten the freaking name of the book. The someone who said yes. If they turned that into a film, that'd be freaking awesome, man. But yeah, if anyone got the opportunity to read that book, man, and look up a couple of the videos about it, man. Shucks, that's a powerful. Yeah.
I think they talked about it in the podcast. Let's one about the trailer. It might be a situation where and Danny, who's on that podcast, he's in the film industry, so he's had some pushback with Pacific Island stories getting across the line when it comes to film and TV, and it was always because the Palangi has the money and they do all the funding. They want to have their say in a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to Pacific Island stuff, and it comes down to the diversity, ticking the diversity box. If you got a brown face in the movie, then it's good enough, you know. So it's sort of like, okay, if I think it was one of the Makasiva brothers that wrote and directed that movie.
True.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a brown school in the first place, in the original script.
Yeah.
And the Palangi is saying, oh, if you want this money, then you got to change it to like be a private school. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But it sounds like that happens all the time.
Also, I think Mikhail touched on it when he interviewed him on the back of the 135, man. He was like saying, just like Panthers, Yet the Panther stories, yet they try to slide in their Palangi thing moments on it. Like, fucking didn't even need to be there. has no relationship to fucking Pacifica at all. Like people who pick up on stuff like that, you know. It's like, yeah, no, he's absolutely right though, you know. Anything because they're funding it, and the director's balling too, by the way, just you know. But we can afford to, but it's just people just, you know, with the cost of living, the price of being singy, and we just don't want to fund that sort of thing, man. That's what's sad. We don't want to fund ourselves. Got all the talent in the world.
Sweet boys, man, that was a good episode. A lot of things to talk about. A lot of things talked about. So, we're good over time, but I think it's good. It's a good close to 2 hours. But last words. Let's go, Eddie.
Last words, man. Check up with your boys. If you're drowning, like reach out. Like there's always somebody to answer. So yeah, my last words is reach out. Don't be afraid to pray as well. Like Leti said, prayer is powerful. So yeah, those are my last words. Seki.
Nice also. I just wanted to make a special mention to my son Kai, and we had his ball on Friday night, and it was quite sad. I showed up late because I was still mutty, man, and my wife was like, "Oh, formalities finished, the party's on now." And I walked in and he just gave me this "you and here" for my speech, you know. But my wife recorded it, and I shared it on my story, like just as photos. But in that moment, man, I felt I understand, like I wasn't there for him. I was at home being sick, but I showed up, and so I left because, you know, he's obviously upset. He doesn't want me there, so I went outside and, you know, let my wife have that moment with him. But then he came out and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." But anyone who knows autistic kids, like the way he processes his words and his feelings is completely different to how, you know, anyone normal would. And I always say to myself, don't ever apologize to me, you know. I just said, it's all right. You don't ever say sorry to Dad. I just wanted to put this out there to people that, like, don't apologize for being yourself if that's genuinely who you are. I've done Jack or for any of the Tokelau Online 2-week festivities because I've been sick and I've been at work. But that's just me being making more excuses. But yeah, man, just don't apologize to anyone for being yourself, man. If that's who you genuinely are and authentically are, man, be proud of it, you know, own it. Because without you and the specialness and what you bring to anybody, bro, that's what makes us who we are. And yeah, man, like to run up Tokelau Language Week, manu te vai ho te ngan Tokelau. I just wish that I could do more. But no, yeah, I just want to leave you with that, man. You know what it is. Kill it late and I live it.
Beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, man. Yeah, that just made me think, about the being humble thing. Like, don't apologize for who you are and what you can do and all that. Like, we're all human beings. You know, we can only be human in the end of the day. So everyone just tries their best, and that's it. Yeah, my last words. I had the last words figured out before we jumped on the mics, and it was a bit of a rant, eh?
Yo, go for it, Luz.
Go for it.
Unload the magazine, Luz. I know it's gonna eat away at you. It's gonna eat away at you at the rest.
But I was like, those fucking gatekeepers on Facebook, eh? And I'm talking about those gatekeepers that hold those group pages. You know, group pages on Facebook is for a reason, for people to get communities together with the same ideas or same, you know, just to bring communities together if they're into a topic that a lot of people share. And for example, like, since we're on the WesWes Network, we've got to get ourselves out there, right? So we've got topics on podcasts that handle different things like sports, right? We've got NRL, we've got movies, we have music, and so, you know, it makes sense to jump in these groups on Facebook to get your ideas out through a podcast, right? Man, some of these we get kicked out of some of these, because we don't fit the same narrative they have. And it's like the same, like, for instance, like there's like a New Zealand Rugby Union group page out there that I put the boys on the counter rack. I put our podcast in there. I put our snippets in there, stuff like that. Man, we got kicked out because Stacey said something about he didn't agree with Ian Foster and all that. And we've got all these Ian Foster people that like Ian Foster. Nah, man, you're out of this group. So, hey, what the hell?
Wow.
What the hell? You know, and I'm like, man, this is not the way it was meant to be, right?
Yeah.
And it happens a lot. Like in the movie one, I had some of our movie podcast and we got kicked out of there too because we had opinion of the movie that some people didn't have, or the administrator didn't have, and said, "Nah, you guys are out. Can't have that here." What kind of? These aren't group. This is like the opposite of what the group page is for. But yeah, man, just my little rant. And man, some of these gatekeepers, they think, oh, I don't know, man, they're just like fucking on their high horse. Want something in power because they got no power. Like they make a page, and now they got 100, they got tens of thousands of people on their page, and that gives them a right to kick anyone out if they don't follow their rules and all that stuff. So, just my last words: be careful when it comes to group pages. It's not all that cracked out to be. You know, if you expect to find like-minded people out there, if you expect to find the community out there that you can talk things about and blah blah blah, you probably won't. Because you'll probably get a gatekeeper and the moderator on the administration. They'll kick you out if they don't like what your ideas you have. That's why jump on our group page, the Empty Out the Clip group page. Hey man, we like all sorts of opinions. Jump on our page, answer the few questions, we'll let you in, and we'll shout you out on the podcast if it's any good. But disagree with us, agree with us. We don't care. It doesn't matter. It's all opinions. That's what it's for. We're not gonna kick anyone out unless it's something really, really stupid. But probably won't be. You wouldn't want to waste your time if you want to do something stupid. So, yeah, that's my last words. Right.
Nice.
Thanks, boys, for jumping on another episode. It's been great. It's always been great. Empty Out the Clip's been moving. It's been moving. Getting a few more views, but it's all good. Yeah, thanks guys for jumping on. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Thanks.